Well, there you are. Again, Charlie Greer Podcast. I do this every day today. So, the audition process. Before we do, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel, the information's in the description for Cash App. My handle is Charlie Greer Podcast. And for Zelle, it's my email. It's all in the description. You can figure it out. Let's do this. So, the audition process. You're an actor, actress. Well, you got to audition. Unless someone throws you a bone or you're nepotism, whatever. Get used to auditioning. Matter of fact, you need to work more on the audition process than or just as much as you're acting. I suggest take a class, get together with people, do faux auditions. Um, if you hear anything, there's some mess going around my house. They're doing something or other, construction or who knows. Uh, so the audition process, get used to it, man. It's brutal. It's the worst part of like acting. Is the audition process. Can you guys hear that? In the basement, anyway, or the cellar. It's not even a basement; it's a cellar where they store. So, like in 2000, I think it was 11. I did, I think, 103 or 105 auditions, and I only got like 3 or 4 roles, and those roles were just like student films and nothing basically that's 2 a week. And I lived in Pasadena, and I'm going in from Pasadena to Hollywood, which isn't that far, but with traffic, and I learned the back roads. I learned like shortcuts, but brutal. And a lot of times people are just you go to these auditions, and it just might be like 100 actors auditioning for the same thing. The casting people are fed up and burnt out because they don't want to see the same horrible acting processes that for one, even if you're a really good actor, a lot of times that doesn't matter because they got something in mind. They might not like your shirt, your shoes. You don't like it. I don't like people with this color hair or eyes or whatever. It's stupid. I've and they're arrogant. Some of the worst people I met in the entertainment industry as far as like acting were the casting people. They were just, for one, there a lot of them were like failed actors or wanted to be an actor. um, so when you're in this process, you got like an audition, especially some days you might have 2 or 3. There was days where I had like multiple auditions. Well, I had to, and I studied, and it's about your breathing. See, acting is all about your breathing. Be cool, calm, and collected. Don't be too over. People are trying to do too much with their hand. They're trying to. That's not. And I'm not saying I'm the best actor. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like, yeah, I'm Joe Acted. No. It's you just got to get by sometimes, or at least have a little bit of the craft, at least a little bit of knowledge. Because I've seen people make hundreds of thousands a year, are not an actor, and they're doing like nefarious stuff to get sexual favors, this, that, and the other thing. Um, it gets frustrating. It gets frustrating when you see these people succeed. You're just like, oh my God, you got to stick to your guns. Quite honestly, that's why I didn't get further, and because I wouldn't do certain things. I wouldn't do certain favors. I wouldn't join certain groups. I wouldn't do this, that, and the other. I wouldn't be someone's lapdog, or um, that's just me. Some people are like, sure, yeah, that all you got to do? I've heard that. That's all I got to do. I mean, you not believe how many times I've heard that. I've showed up at auditions where they give you have to learn a song, so they give you like a week to learn the song and the sides, the lines, and you have to bring a guitar. You got to perform the song and then do the audition, whatever. And then you're waiting there with the other actors. No one has a guitar. No one knows their lines. Then you find out who got. You're like, wait, how did he get? If he, oh, okay. The casting couch is a thing. My last real audition, like that was like serious, that's what happened to me. I'm not going to say the big company who I was supposed to be doing it for. And the dude like pointed at his crotch, and it right in front of the director, who was like this British guy who liked me, who was like fighting for me, and they snapped, and they like started arguing, and I just put my guitar in my case, and I just started walking out. Like, where are you going? I'm like, well, man, you ain't gonna cast me. I'm not gonna. Find out later that this smelly dude looked homeless, got it. He made like God knows what. It was a good paying. It'd have been a good paying commercial. I could have like put a down payment on a condo. I mean, so just be forewarned, be aware. That's why people go out to Hollywood with dreams, or in New York or Chicago, wherever you're at, because there's different places now where there's in Texas and North Carolina. There's places that have like they're shooting a lot. Get ready, get your alligator skin on. It's coming, and if it doesn't happen to you, you're lucky, or you're lying. So it is a process. I try to keep that out of my mind when I'm, preparing, because a lot of times, sometimes it's just like quick. You get a call that night, you got to be there tomorrow. They'll email you the lines. Stay up as late as you can to try to figure out, because I used to want to be able to at least go off script. I didn't want to stand there with paper, and like reading lines. Who was that? I was auditioning for an Alka-Seltzer commercial, and we had to be wrestlers. And they had me a faux. I was supposed to jump off the ropes and land on this dude. So they had a chair set up in this office. Like, okay, just act like you're jumping off the, then act like you're hurt, like you hurt your knee. And I landed, I rolled, and I was like, and they're like, whoa, oh, you hurt, you really hurt. What? I'm sorry. And I was like, no, I'm acting. They're like, oh, they got mad that I was like, well, what do you? I'm an actor. I'm supposed to be hurt. I'm acting like I'm hurt. They thought, oh, you scared us to death. Get out of here. It's like, you would think you would hire me. No. And I wasn't like trying to, make them. Again, sometimes you're too good. I'm not saying I'm the best, but and I think I've told this story before, but I had an acquaintance, and he was studying at UCLA, which is expensive, and he's an up and comer. Comes from a rich family. He's all in nepotism, favoritism, cronyism, this, that, and the other. And I knew this guy, and he liked my acting. He's like, hey, when I shoot my film, my master thesis, which is like a half an hour, like a pilot, whatever, I want you in it. Tell me this month after month after month. And then I don't hear from him. I know he's shooting his film. I know it's already starting, and I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever. And then I get a call. He's like, hey, Charlie, are you available? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm sorry. Look, and I go, yeah, I know you didn't cast me. It's okay. You got something that would like, no. You got to help me here. I'm just going to admit he made a mistake. He cast a friend, like a crony in college, whatever it was. Guy claiming he wouldn't rehearse. He's like, no, I don't need to rehearse. I don't like rehearsing. I'm like De Niro, whatever, So he gets on the first day, shows up. The other actors are pissed. This guy can't act. He's horrible. And that was the role I was supposed to have. I didn't have the lines or anything. And this is like at 6 p.m. He's like, look, I got to make an executive decision. Fire my friend. I can email you over the lines. Can you? But we got to, we wasted a day, which cost him like probably 10, 20 grand that day, just wasting. Anyway, can you be ready tomorrow, like in the morning? You got to be here at like 5 a.m. Can you? And I was like, yeah. You sit me over the, I'm sitting there on the phone with him, looking at this. Oh yeah, this is. Oh, no, you got to. I get it. So I stay up most of the night, like learning these lines, finding the most important thing is finding the character. If you can find the character, then you can always be on set kind of studying your lines. But if you don't have a clue about the character, then the line, it doesn't matter. Like, who is this character? And I'd ask him, like, break it down. Who is this guy? And I was going to be wearing a Hawaiian shirt. I know that guy, Hawaiian shirt guy, hey, everything's great kind of thing. And I forgot what it was. I was playing who knows? I forgot. So I show up. It's early in the morning, like the sun's just coming up. It's 5 a.m. Get me in wardrobe and stuff. Then the actor shows up, and this acquaintance of mine didn't have the guts to tell him. And I don't know why he picked this awkward moment to be in front of everybody. Like, hey, I had to make an executive decision. You're not just, I had to cast this guy, and the dude kind of snaps, what do you mean? I want to get paid? He's like, yeah, I'll pay you. Matter of fact, I think he ended up paying him like the full amount, but then we had to stop what we were doing so these guys could argue and and I'm there, like I try to walk away, get away from and then they kind of made up and everything, and then he wouldn't leave. So this other actor who I'm taking, and he was pissed at me, like I didn't know the guy, I never met him, the funny thing, he was just like, yeah, you're doing a great job, but man, you messed me up, what? Huh? The other actors who were younger than me loved me. They're like, you're making me be better. It's this thing. If you've got by then I'd done so much shitty stuff and stuff that'll probably never be seen. A lot of times when you get a gig, most of what you do will be edited out. There's times where I've worked 2 or 3 weeks on a project, and then you're telling your friends, yeah, I'm in this TV show or whatever, and you're not even in it. Like, are you sure you're in it? And yeah, I got pay stubs. I can prove that that happened more so than not. And people think, oh, that's crazy. Man, I'm talking about 90% of the time. If I was doing something, that's what would happen. I wouldn't even be, or if you shoot like forever and then they barely use you. Shoot all these scenes and, just, but back to this set. So it was like a 3-day set, 3-day shoot. We finished it and it did well. Matter of fact, it won the Bel Air Film Festival. And it was called Halfway to Somewhere. Pardon me. It's like you can go to IMDb, Halfway to Somewhere. I mean, and then I went to the premiere. I took some friends, an old bandmate, and they made us stand up, and they did this like a question thing, and big theater at UCLA or in Bell, where it was. And that's one of the things that I thought that I would like. I thought that I'd be like, wow, I'm around all these people patting you on the back, and you're in this huge theater, and everybody's kissing your ass. It made me feel so uncomfortable. Be careful what you wish for. Didn't like it. Left with a stack of cards, like a 2-inch stack. And was like, oh, you're going to be my neck. And I remember somebody coming up to me and go, hey, man, you'll never hear from these people again. I go, yeah, I'm never going to. And I didn't. I tried to email all of them and call and none of that. I was approached by Star Wars, the animation Star Wars casting people, whatever. And they saw me on the microphone when I was a carnival barker on Hollywood Boulevard. You'd be perfect for animation. Why haven't you done voiceover? This? I was like, well, man, okay, yeah, we will. Yeah, here's our card. Never. Didn't. The guy came up to me and goes, your voice is delicious. I'm, okay, thank you. Never heard anything. Get used to that. Get used to. That's why, like, a known actor who's like successful or whatever, just the auditioning they want some money down. Like to be like, hey man, I want $5 million, whether you recast me or not. I'm getting this money, and they do. The Thin Red Line, the director, I forgot his name, but he shot the film basically 3 different times as he was shooting it with different leads. One of them was Sean Penn, Mickey Rourke, and Mickey thought he was doing the best work he'd ever done, thinking I'm gonna win an Oscar. Worked for 6 months or something like that. Then they picked the other guy, Jim Caviezel or whatever his name was. He got the and didn't tell the other actors. They had to pay Mickey Rourke like $10 million or whatever. And then he was mad. To this day, he says it's some of his best work, and no one will ever see it. You would think that they would edit all 3 of those and have release the 3, because it's like Jim Caviezel, Mickey Rourke, and I forgot the other guy, but they all shot the lead parts. That's just how it is. In Back to the Future, Eric Stoltz, the redheaded actor, he was first shot. They shot I think a third of the movie or half of it with him. For some reason, the executives didn't like what they were seeing and this, that, and the other, and they had to recast. And they got Michael J. Fox. I've seen, and supposedly he's still in the movie in certain parts. If there's, and I'm sure he's still bitter about it, but somehow I think he still makes residuals. Somehow he's still, I don't know. Yeah, it's sleazy. It's get your alligator skin on. I don't do any acting anymore. I'm totally retired as far as like most of the creative, all the creative stuff. I haven't done an art show, a gig, acting, none of that, like in a year, over a year probably. Well, no, it's been longer than that because the lockdown. It's been a couple of years. And again, there's times where you do really well, and one of the last things I did, it was LA casting. You can get the breakdowns. You have to join LA casting. Then you get the breakdowns, and you can submit yourself online. And there was this like top secret gig, project, top secret project. Got to be secretive. This, that, and the other. Big stars producing it. And they want, I submitted myself. They were like, "Hey, you got to be able to sing and play guitar and this, that, and that." And so that's like right up my alley. So I submitted myself, and they're like, I got a call back, which is, well, I got contacted like, hey, because you used to have to do it all in person. Now it's all like email, Zoom. I've done so many auditions on Zoom, downloading Zoom on your phone. And so this top secret, project, well, we want you to pick your own song. We want you to be you. We don't want you to like try to dress it. Just do you, do what you're going to do. Don't be anybody but yourself. That's what we're looking for. Originality. We want to see like characters. So, hot LA day, I would just have like a white tank top on, like a white beater, jeans or whatever. And I just, my Johnny Thunders guitar. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do that. I'm not going to play a nicer guitar. I'm just going to play my Relic TV Junior. And I did If I Should Fall from Grace from God by the Pogues. I was like, I'm going to do a song I like, and it's kind of a trippy song to do. It's got a weird rhythm. And it was, and honestly, I was like, you know what? I don't even care. I know I should probably do a better song or more popular, Now, If I Should Fall from Grace from God, it's like a drunk Irish, anthem. If I should fall from grace of God, so I didn't care. For some reason, I was like, you know what? It's secret. Who knows? I press play or record on the Zoom. And there you go. I just did the song. Thank you. Bye. Like a couple hours later, I get an email. That was genius. And then I see all these casting people like, oh my God, Charles, you nailed it. The secret guy behind it. You have any other stuff? So I sent links to my videos and I sent other headshots and this, that, and other. And I might have did another song. I know I did another Zoom, like, didn't even know who I was talking to. There was like 3 people there. And again, they're like, you are perfect. You're a genius for this role, for this. We need a character like you, kind of haggard. I mean, they're being, really, and emails. And again, you don't know who these people are. I wasn't talking on the phone. I was going through email, and there was like 3 different women that were like casting or line producers or something. So at one point I was just like emailing one, here comes another, you're busy. I spent like the whole day, then nothing. Then about a week, I didn't see nothing, I'm not going to bug them too. And then they emailed us like, something's come up. The funding or something like that. We'll get back to you, but don't, you're in mind. Okay. Shit. What can I do? I'm not going to bug him. And then a while goes by. I don't know how long it was. It was months. Then one of the casting people got a hold of me, and she's like, "Look, that fell through. I'm going to keep you in mind." But it was, guess what? Who the secret? It was Elton John. I was like, Elton John. Again, he loved you, and I was like, Elton John. Are you kidding me? Like, I love Elton John. My dad was a huge Elton John fan. Matter of fact, we played an Elton John song at my dad's funeral. Like, I love Elton John. He's one of my go-tos. I mean, why didn't he contact me? Again, you can't. I'm glad they didn't tell me. If they'd have told me, "Hey, man, you re-auditioned for Elton John," I wouldn't have. And I guess he's a Pogues fan. It turns out. See, you got to be yourself. That's the funny thing. Like, I was just being myself. Like, you know what? I'm going to do a Pogue song. I might even been drinking a beer. Like, I don't give a shit. By then, I was just, pissed off about doing all these auditions. Nothing comes of it. All your time, sometimes money, driving back and all, been out there for over 20 years, nothing, basically. Seeing people, again, succeed for other reasons that you're just like, oh my God, what have I done? I should have been a plumber, and just to like be yourself and do a Pogue song. Turns out that Elton John loved it, loved the grit about it. I guess he loves the Pogues. Just coincidence, maybe me and Elton would be friends if we knew it. Who knows? Never heard from him again. They're like, "I'll keep you in mind." And then we got locked down. Then nobody was working. That happens. That happens. There's also the speculation. Like, when I had an agent, they're like, "Hey, man, they're going to spell, like, say, like the person that's in the show or for the part got sick or something happened. They're going to send a few actors, and it's on spec that you're going to be, and see if you get picked. It's just not you. There might be 4 or 5 of you, and then they might even put you in wardrobe and everything. Sometimes you can get paid a little bit. That guy, when Scotty Beers and I were out in LA, I hooked him up with my agent, and he stayed out there for like 99 for like 6 months. We got a call about, hey, they're specing this pilot. You got to be firemen. So we went, got whatever they put us in, and they picked Scotty out of us. It's just how it is. Sometimes it's not. They liked him, and so they let me hang around though. I was union. They let me like eat. They fed me, and I hung out. And I met Michael Chiklis and Kevin Dillon. We're like smoking and eating lobster burritos or something. Good day. Shot in downtown LA. You just don't know. You just, some people have better luck than others. And some people, again, a lot of times it's not talent. I've literally been made fun of. Like, I don't like his shoes, his shirt, his eyes are too blue. I've heard that. His feet are too big. I've heard all kinds of stupid stuff. What size shoe do you wear? I wear a 13. Clown feet or whatever. Okay. I would suggest like getting into wardrobe as much as you can for yourself. Like, like I was had an audition for a coach. I didn't know what it was. You're a coach. So I went to the 99-cent store and I got like a sweatband for my head, wrist sweatbands. I got a whistle around my neck. I spent like a couple bucks, and still didn't get it, even though they loved me. Again, it was against me and some other people, and for some reason they just didn't. In fact, I think that they wanted me to be heavier. I auditioned for Open Range, which was a film made back in the day. Kevin Costner is in it. He directed it. And I was up for the role for the guy that gets beat up. I forgot his, the character's name, but he's a big hoss dude. And I didn't know at the time, like, that's what they wanted. So I actually I went to Nashville or Atlanta, somewhere, gave me a hotel room, this, that, and the other. And I went through the process of, And then they're like, look, it boils down to you're not mountain man enough. Remember they're telling me that. Like you're just not big enough. You don't have enough weight on you. I was like, well, I can wear a prosthetic. You can, slap on some jowls. No, we want, And another dude, got it. It's what it is. And that kind of made his career. I think he's still working. And I'd worked with Kevin. I'd met Kevin and For Love of Game or For Love of the Game. He was in that, directed that, and I was in a scene. I got to meet him. We kind of hit it off, and he kind of remembered me for a while, a year or two. I hope you're out, kid. Okay, thank you. And it's, I tried to get an open ring. I'd have made really good money. The first like real role I'd gotten, and it was kind of heartbreaking. Because I'd had weeks of this back and forth and going to Nashville or Atlanta, wherever it was. I was in St. Louis at the time. I was spending like the summer in St. Louis. You just got to roll with it. You can't, if I'd have got open range, that would have changed my, life. And they even said that, they tell you that. Yeah, if you get this role, it's going to change your life. Like, well, fine. You didn't get it. I guess my life's not going to be changed then, there's every artist, actor, they have the actress, they have these stories. You don't want to dawn too much on it. At least you gave it a try. And a lot of times it's fun. The process is fun. But you never know. You don't want to get too down. Comment below. Have you had bad auditions? Have you auditioned? Oh, and again, if you want to if you want to, please like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. That's the best way to support the channel, is to like, share, and subscribe. Everybody knows this, though. Share it on your feed of whatever it is, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Who knows? And if you do want to support the channel, the information is in the description for Cash App. My handle is charliegreerpodcast. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. And Zelle, which is my email. It's all in the description. But I love y'all. Be blessed. Cheers.